here we go. Spawning on the left side of Shattered Temple, the green Protoss Nemesys on the left-hand side versus the light blue Terran Kiri on the right-hand side of MLG Shattered Temple. This is for the Clan Eternal Plague StarCraft 2 Open number 5. And, yeah, so both players giving out the GG. And, good luck with the 1-1-1. So we might be seeing a 1-1-1 versus a very fast all-in from Nemesys, just based on the chat. Now, I didn't get to watch Kiri's last game, but I did get to watch and cast Nemesys, who took a very commanding lead over the Zerg early on, the Zerg QQHQ, by the way, and just kind of rolled with it all game with a very nice Warp Prism elevator into the Zerg's main when he had spine crawlers all over the front of his ramp. So the Terran doing the extra special and extra standard ramp wall in. Nemesys the first to send out a scout. Obviously so far there can't be a whole lot of aggression. Nobody has any units left. Shattered Temple is a very nice map, always kind of near and dear to me. It kind of is great for Reaper or Colossi play, since the ramp is all the way down here, and yet you can hop into the main right up here. Blink Stalkers are another popular choice. And so this SCV is now getting harassed by the Nemesys probe. Another SCV forced to pull off the line, rescue his compadre. Probe is forced to run away by the attacking SCV. Ooh, this SCV might go down. It's only got 1 or 2 hits left on it, but the probe might also go down. It's down to 5 hit points. And already there's a lot of action to be cast. And now the probe's trying to do the run around the middle line. 4 SCVs come off now, trying to chase it away. This SCV is surviving with only 10 hit points. This Kiri SCV is so close to catching up. No walling on the front. Barracks spitting out a Marine now. Cybernetic score went down for Nemesys. Probe now running away, back up to full shields. So both players know exactly what their opponent is doing at this point. Tech Lab going down now for Kiri. So we might actually see that early Reaper play. Early Reaper play. 2 racks. Really strong, aggressive opener for Kiri. I like watching Terran 2 racks just because they're always exciting, always fun, and always aggressive. So this probe's going to go down for absolutely free now. The Marine holding the center of the map. SCV back here. I don't know if Nemesys actually knows about this SCV. So the Zealot comes out. Stalker is now being chrono boosted. Still got a lot of energy left on this Nexus, but not... I'm not sure what Nemesys is going for here. I can see early aggression. He's got his 1 gate, 1 cyber, pylon going down. No real tech structures coming down yet for Nemesys. Tech Lab's researching Stim. Supply blocked a little bit. More than a little bit. There we go. Supply depot now finishing up. Marauders coming out. So, if Nemesys decides to play with this aggressive early opening, he's going to be held quite well by this Marauder. But it doesn't look like that's what he's going for. Just on a patrol path on his base, checking for scouts, which he will eventually see this SCV. And he's hiding a pylon back here. We're probably going to see a hidden tech play, which would be very fun. Because there goes the scout. And let's see what he decides to go down and build. The robotics facility is coming down now, up here in the top left corner of the base. Marauder and Marine, easy to hold off a gate with, or a 1 gate push with. Factory now going down, reactor on the second barracks. Second Marauder coming out, and what is this? Another couple of gateways. So no real hidden tech, just a couple of hidden 2 gates. And again, another scout coming down, checking for proxy pylons. Really good play by Kiri. Wants to make sure that there's nothing that's going to all of a sudden warp into his base and kill him off. And so both players playing fairly standard so far. We have a 3 gate robo, although a little delayed, coming down for Nemesys. And we have a 2 racks into factory coming down for Kiri. Another pylon going down. Neither player being supply blocked. Both players keeping up on their worker production. Starport now going down for Kiri, so it's kind of a 2-1-1. Not exactly the 1-1-1 that most Terrans seem to favor for aggressive opening, but it's still kind of effective. Unless you get out a couple more ground forces, or rather double the ground forces. These other 2 gateways are now done. Concussive shell research starting. First Immortal's halfway out. Neither player has taken an expansion yet. Might just see a big army battle in the center of the map in the next couple of minutes and then a push to win. Very interesting way to open off the first of this best of 3 series. Starport raising up, going to get dropped on this reactor. The observer for Nemesys seeing exactly what's going on in his opponent's front. Although if he had hidden reactor or a hidden Ghost Academy back here, he would have no idea that it was coming.
Armed and ready.
Both players doing a little bit of scouting, a little bit of building up. Decent sized armies for both players now. First 2 medevacs are coming out. I really like this by Kiri. He's scouting around his base, just making sure there's nothing there. Here comes the observer around the back way. He checked for the natural, nothing there yet. Now he's going to come up, scout for that hidden tech I mentioned earlier. We have a floating factory to scout. I don't exactly know why it's sitting up here scouting. Now we have combat shields coming down for the Marines, make them a little bit more resilient against these stalkers. I don't know if Nemesys has the army number right now to defend this. He scouted for an observer. Didn't see any, and here comes a nice drop. This could be absolutely devastating. It's going to get scouted by this, but if he kills off those 2 gateways, that's going to stop a lot of the army production for Kiri. Which would be absolutely devastating in trying to hold off a big push that might come immediately after it. So now the observer knows that most of the army is gone. He's got to be feeling something. He's placing out this pylon to make sure it's not going to come in that way. Just a little bit too late, because here comes the drop. These units back here should easily be able to rally back and defend. You can already see they're on the way. There goes the drop. Units falling into the base. Getting picked off rather rapidly. The medevacs doing their job, trying to heal. Stim on the Marines. Not really killing off anything. I don't think they actually got a single unit. Okay, so there were a couple of probes killed. Not a whole lot of damage done by that drop. I feel like that was sort of a waste on the part of Kiri. He ended up just losing most of the Marines out of 1 medevac and not doing a whole lot of damage to his opponent. So again, both players now trying to build back up. And now we see Nemesys pulling out across the map, leaving an Immortal for some reason. Maybe it's just not part of his control groups here? Nope, there it goes. The Immortal's a little slow to respond. This medevac he might lose for absolutely nothing. 2 medevacs in the middle of the map now. Oh, that is a terrible misclick by Kiri. 1 medevac goes down, the other one's down to 40. The stim up, takes out a Marauder, a couple of Zealots slowed down. Excellent force fields, cutting the army in half. The rest of it just duped around. Medevacs trying to do their job in the back. It looks like the Terran's going to be able to push back the Protoss after all. But no, that Immortal is doing work against the Marauders down here. And Kiri losing almost his entire army to that. Tiny little skirmish in the map went terribly, terribly wrong for Kiri, and Nemesys coming away with the big victory right there. Now he's just pulling back, defending his natural, which there's still an SCV sitting right here. I don't know if Nemesys just doesn't notice it or not, or what's going on with that. Bunker's going down for Kiri. It looks like he's going to try to do his own expansion. Another 2 barracks are coming down. Definitely devoting himself into this bio ball play. If the Protoss manages to scout those extra 2 barracks and throws down a robotics bay, it could be very, very bad if he gets a couple of Colossi up. Colossi chew through the Terran bio ball so very quick. Alternatively, he could go Charge Lot Archon, which also devastates bio balls fairly quickly. And now we do see the expansion is going down on the low ground for Kiri. The SCV finally got picked off by Nemesys. And so that little bit of aggression in the center seemed to placate both players, and we're going back into a macro game. This factory is still sitting up here doing nothing. I think he meant to scout with it and has just kind of forgotten. There's the robotics bay now halfway done. The Terran bio ball is going to end up countered fairly hard. Calling down more mules, keeping that orbital command very low on energy. I like how Nemesys is keeping his units active throughout the base, but he could be holding this middle watchtower. He could be poking and prodding a little bit. Here comes a drop running away from the base. Figured it was a little bit too hot, I suppose. First Colossi is now on its way out. No extended thermal lance yet, but the Protoss has almost no money. That'd be a great reason as to why. The natural has now been taken for the Protoss player, coming up a little bit before Kiri, which is fine. Finally, the factory scout is coming. I think he's going to scout up here for the 3rd base, which has obviously not been taken yet by our Protoss player. And both players deciding just to sit back, macro up a large army. The supplies are right about even. Go to the income tab and you see the harvesters. Nemesys is He's 10 harvesters ahead. I can't really say that's a little bit. Sniping off this observer. He's got a lot of medevacs, and it looks like he's going to go for another drop. The first drop, which failed so spectacularly. The army is all down here, though, so if he sneaks this in, it could be very devastating. And he might be going for a split play. That could be absolutely devastating to that natural. These two medevacs are going to come down here, and if he pulls away his entire army, I could very easily see Kiri charging into the front and taking down this natural. That would be a very, very well-planned aggression by Kiri. There you go, the scout. Knows all the army is down here. Here comes the drop. He's going to kill off all the probes in the main, and there goes the army. Perfect timing on the scout, but this army isn't moving in. So the drop coming in, killing off a couple probes. Killing off a gateway. Is he going to get it? Yes, he is. Stim to kill buildings. Stim to win. Oh, wow, he's going to take out both of these gateways. Excellent drop play by Kiri. Now the Protoss is trying to get his army together. It looks like he's just going to pull out and base race. There goes the drop. Kiri's pulling back. He supply blocked his opponent. He took out half his production facilities. This is not looking good right now for Nemesys. Now he's moving into the center of the map. He's going to take out this small force. Nope, Kiri with the retreat. Perfectly well timed. Single Viking out. Another Viking. Going to counter these. Ooh, Viking lost for 3. He's got to watch those rally points on that starport. Gave away a free Viking for absolutely nothing. Bunkers again going down in the front. Slowed down the Zealot, gets that for free. Here comes the engagement. Colossi doing work. Excellent force fields, trapping some of the army. Nice flank, but again, force fields just completely destroying that flank idea. Protoss is completely surrounded by his own force fields, able to pick off units of leisure. The Colossi doing work. One Colossi goes down. The other one, the Terran player has no units on the ground right now. TT, I think that's a mistype for GG. No. Nemesys is ahead. I don't know what's going on here. The Viking goes down. Colossi, does he have the extended thermal lance yet? No, he doesn't. But it doesn't even matter. That bunker just dropped. This has got to be the GG. Potentially. I don't know. These Vikings. Vikings take down the second Colossus. There are no stalkers. Well, there's one stalker there to try to kill it. Now they're landing on the high ground, trying to do some work. One Viking goes down. Stalkers kill Vikings on the ground or in the air so quickly it doesn't even matter. He's got no anti-air units to take down his orbital commando. Trying to push up the ramp. One Immortal goes down almost for free. Force field pushing units away. The Immortals are doing their job. Stimming back on the Marauder. Pushing up the ramp. I don't know if Kiri's going to be able to hold this, but at the same time, Nemesys is not reinforcing this at all. He has 600 unspent minerals. Part of the reason he's not reinforcing it is he has no real production facilities. He's still only got the 2 gateways. 3 more just now finishing. And so Kiri does manage to clean that up. Cost him all of his army. Neither player really has an army right now. That is a lot of medevacs. That is heal for days right there. So now Kiri with the supply disadvantage, the army disadvantage, and the economy disadvantage. It's looking like if he can't make some magic happen here in the next couple of minutes, Nemesys is just going to starve him out and take the game. Now we see Kiri pushing across the map a little bit. Nemesys is going to come up here, break the rocks. He wants to try to take this third. Factory is going to scout that it's not taken yet. So both players know that the other is only on 2 bases. This was resaturated really, really quickly. Oh, that's why. The main is almost completely mined out. So now Kiri has to make something happen. He's mining off of practically just 1 base. Here comes a massive elevator on the scene. He's going to pick off this pylon. Doesn't do anything to supply block his opponent. Kiri with a very nice 40 supply disadvantage. Make that 50 supply disadvantage as another round of warpins happens. I don't see a way that Kiri's going to be able to come back from this. The expansion's going down now for Nemesys. And as Tastosis likes to say, when you're ahead, get farther ahead, right? Nemesys now is taking his third. Here comes a somewhat big push from Kiri, and I only say that because that's his entire army. That is way, way too many medevacs, I think, for that size of an army. It's got 4 barracks, engineering bay, trying to do a little bit of upgrading here. He's already at 1-0. 1-1's about to finish. No upgrades yet for Nemesys. In the long run, I think Kiri is making the right decisions, but in the right now, it doesn't seem to matter. Nemesys, there goes another free Viking. The rally point on starports has really got to get fixed. But no, it's still going straight out to the center of the map. So he's just giving away Vikings for free every time one of those spawns. And another big push looking like it's about to happen from Nemesys. A free Marauder, free Marines. Are all of his rally points out there? Nope, now they're fixed. There we go. Just changed all the rally points to the base of the natural. And now the Protoss player pulling back. I think he's going to go check for expansions up here. Kiri is holding his third, or his second. I could say it's his third because he's had to re-expand here already. He's mining off of only one base. A lot of SCVs trying to work off this one mineral patch, so it's not very efficient. But meanwhile, there's a drop up here in the third. It's going to get picked off. It didn't do a whole lot of damage. A bunch of probes fell. But there goes the pick up on the drop. The medevac goes down. Nice attempt by Kiri to do a little bit of damage, but when you're 50 food supply behind, you kind of just have to try to build back your economy. All the probes now running back up to the third. The main for Nemesys has been completely mined out. 22-minute first game of the best of 3. 50 food supply deficit now for Kiri. I really don't see him winning this. He's going to take the gold base to try to pull back. He's going to make something happen in this team fight, but I really don't think that he's got the ground army necessary to push in and kill these Colossi. Now the extended thermal lance is finally being built. These Vikings here are going to be able to do a lot of damage to the Colossi. There are almost no stalkers on the map. That might be a mistake from Nemesys, but the perfect force field is catching half the army off guard. One Colossus already falling. 2 Colossus down. The army stimming and pulling back, doing a lot of work, and that was an excellent defense by Kiri, managing to push the Protoss army back, and now he's going to stim up and try to catch up. There are no Colossus for these Vikings. Right now they're just providing targets for the stalkers. He's just going to lose them all. Perfect stim to win, focusing down the sentries. I really like that decision. Those gas-heavy units going down very quickly. Now it's nothing but stalkers versus marauders and marines. All these medevacs proving their worth, and there goes the Protoss army. And all of a sudden, Kiri, with the great hold on that middle army, is building the command center here. He could float it down and take the gold now. He really doesn't have the army composition or the army size to go push. So instead, he's going to load up and go to a doom drop on his third base, which is hugely oversaturated. Nemesys really needs to expand again. How many freaking work dudes? You have 85 workers on only 2 bases. That is an insane amount of workers. Nemesys definitely trying to keep up with the macro. Big drop coming in now. He's going to try to take this 4th, I think. Or possibly just a misclicked probe. But it definitely scouts the crap out of this drop. Now the drop's coming in. So many probes. Oh, if Kiri gets all of these probes, that would be amazing. Here comes the drop. That's all of Kiri's army. 2 Colossus. I think this is going to get picked up rather nicely. Stemming back, killing off a couple of stalkers, or a couple of zealots for free. But there's just too much army here for Nemesys. The economy from Nemesys overpowering Kiri. Kiri, however, does have this gold base. This third is going to get mined out in absolutely no time at all. So many workers up here. That is grossly oversaturated. That is enough workers for 2.5 bases on 1 base. But Kiri just does not have the economy to keep up with the production. He's got 500 minerals in the bank. He really should be focusing all of these buildings on just units. He's continuing to build Vikings, which is fine because the Protoss player is continuing to build Colossi. And another 150 food supply army is moving out against another 100 food supply army. But really, I can't quite count that as 150 food when 85 of your food is wrapped up in harvesters. He's got double the harvester count of his opponent. So that's really 40 supply that you can take out of this equation. So realistically, army and supply-wise, it's only 120 food. Or, yeah, 120 food to 120 food. So realistically, the army sizes for these players are about even. When Protoss now is pulling back a little bit, Protoss's composition is really good against the primarily bio, or the entirely bio army. There's only a couple Marauders and a bunch of Marines here. Now the Protoss's 4th is going down, taking out the Destructible Rocks. As soon as that goes down, it's going to be saturated immediately. Warping in a couple Zealots on the low forward pylon. And here comes another push across the center of the map by Kiri. Nemesys almost completely maxed out. There's one Zealot's going to spot that and go, oh no, and run away. And now Kiri holding the center of the map. Really don't think that matters. There goes the forward pylon. No supply block. Nemesys is now completely maxed out. If he brings all of these probes, that would be great. Just have a bunch of probes tanking damage in the middle of the fight. But no, he's going to saturate that 3rd. This 2nd is, or the 4th. This 3rd is still way oversaturated. Huge bio ball in the middle of the map for Kiri. But these 3 Colossi, or 4 Colossi now, are going to do massive amounts of damage to it. Still no upgrades on the Protoss, though. He's got 1,000 minerals and 700 gas, and he hasn't started a single upgrade. Doesn't even have his forge, I don't think. I don't see it. He's got Templar Archives. Here comes Blink. He's got charge already. Breaking down the rocks of the gold. I think he's going to try to take a 5th. And now Kiri is gearing up for another drop. Kiri, meanwhile, is 1-1. Researching ship weapons level 1 to better kill the Colossi. A bunch of Zealots going to come out here and die for absolutely nothing. Probably freeing up food for another Colossi. 2 Forge now on the way. It's almost like you read my mind. 4 Templar now. Psionic Storm's halfway done. Blink is almost done. Here we go. Archons. See, Zealot Archon is great with a mid-size army, but again, in a huge maxed out versus maxed out army battle, Kiri supply blocking himself a little bit in the meantime. In a huge maxed out battle, Zealot Archon just isn't really effective enough. True, the Archons have splash damage, and they survive for quite a while with those 350 shields, forcing away a drop now. Excellent spot by Nemesys, forcing that drop away. Looks like he's going to land up here and to try to pick off some probes from the high ground. This medevac is almost dead. 1 feedback from Templar. Big engagement in the middle. Force fielding half the Marauders. The Vikings try to come in. Almost kill off the Colossus, but nothing goes down. It's just a losing battle for Kiri. Running around, his own force field stopping him a little bit. The Marines and Marauders swimming and trying to win. These medevacs are going to get picked off by the late Stalkers. There we go. The GG by Kiri. Nemesys with the secondary GG. That was a game over. Excellent game by Nemesys and Kiri. First match of the best of 3 series for the quarterfinals. The Clan EP Open number 5.